Your body will need different things than my body will, but I thought I'd share with you general things that I eat on a daily basis to give you some ideas. My morning starts with the rising sun, and before I eat anything, I brush my teeth, wash my face, stretch, and meditate. When it comes to my food choices, it is extremely important to just pay attention to what my body needs. What I eat varies every day. On days when I get a lot of physical activity, my body generally wants more food and denser food, so I listen. The most important thing to do when living a healthy lifestyle is to learn how to listen to your body. Eating when you're actually hungry and eating foods that make you feel good. It may take some time to switch your mindset of food, but your life changes when you begin to see food as a source of life and energy for your body. The food that you put into your body becomes your body, so it's important to make the right choices for yourself. It is so essential for fruit to be the first thing in my body in the morning. Because my breakfast is the first meal that I start with my day with, it's important for me to eat something refreshing that gives me a lot of energy and is easy to digest. I always make enough smoothies for 2 large glasses so I can enjoy it throughout the morning. I use frozen fruit because it makes the consistency thicker and really refreshing. Plus, it's easy to keep in your freezer. I'm using mangoes, peaches, and strawberries. Next, I put in oat milk or water. I'm using this particular oat milk from Trader Joe's because it's inexpensive and it only has oats and water, no sugar or preservatives. Then I blend it all up and put the rest in the fridge for later. Throughout my morning, I also like to snack on nuts or dried fruit. And if I'm going to work, which I'm not today, I make sure to eat enough to fill me up. Sometimes I'll make smoothie bowls if I'm hungrier. What I eat for lunch varies a lot based on what I'm doing. I usually don't eat one particular big meal for lunch. I like to spread it out throughout my afternoon and eat when I'm hungry. Today, the first thing I ate for lunch was avocado toast. I eat this a lot, but I actually didn't even like avocados until I moved to California because we literally put avocados on everything here, so I just got used to them and now I really like them. After I toast 2 pieces of bread, I put olive oil on top, and then I put the slices of avocado on top of that as well. Next, I put some salt and pepper. And then I'm adding some fresh rosemary from the garden. And then some edible flowers. If you're interested in edible flowers, I absolutely love them, but it's important that you do a lot of research on the ones in your area before you try them out. Next, I'm adding some fresh lavender. And there it is. I really love avocado toast because it's really filling and refreshing, but this won't fill me up all afternoon, so I'm gonna eat some snacks as well. Once again, I just eat as I'm hungry and listen to my body on what it wants. So I'm eating some almonds today. And then an orange as well, and then a couple other fruits. I generally eat a pretty early dinner and then I'll eat like a second round of it later, so I'll make enough for 2 smaller rounds of dinner. So for dinner, I like to have something with a lot of vegetables, and today I'm roasting some veggies and making healthy mashed potatoes. I'm starting off with gold potatoes, which are my favorite because they're just so creamy. I'm putting them in a covered pot with water and letting them boil while I prepare everything else. I love making mashed potatoes because it's so easy and all you have to do is boil the potatoes. I'm preheating the oven to 400 degrees. And then I'm washing off some Brussels sprouts. I chop off the bottom half of the Brussels sprouts and then cut them in half. Next, I put them on a baking tray, which all of mine are stained with turmeric at this point. And then I'm drizzling them with olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then mixing them around. Vegetables are super easy to cook. They're really hard to mess up, so I'm just keeping an eye on them and taking them out when they're the way that I want them to be. Basically, all you have to do is put them in the oven and make sure that they don't burn. Next, I am washing a portobello mushroom and a red bell pepper. And then cutting the mushroom into just like strips. And then I'm cutting up the bell pepper. Roasted bell pepper is something that I only recently decided doing, and it's actually so good. It's just like has a nice little refreshing taste to it while it has that roasted flavor as well. Once again, I'm putting it on a baking tray with olive oil and salt. And then I'm putting it in the oven. And just keeping an eye on the Brussels sprouts to make sure that they're being cooked evenly. You'll know that the potatoes are done when you can stick a fork through them easily and they begin to kind of fall apart or the skin peels off a little bit. So once the potatoes are done, I am just draining out all of the water. And then mashing them up. The longer you cook the potatoes, the easier it will be to mash. My secret to creamy mashed potatoes is oat milk. And the more you add of the oat milk, the creamier it will be, so I'm gonna add more than that. Coconut oil, which will give it kind of like a buttery taste. Some salt, and then some turmeric, which makes it almost have a sweetness to it and kind of looks like cheesy mashed potatoes. Next, I'm opening up a can of garbanzo beans. And then rinsing them off. And the mushrooms are done at this point, so I'm going to take them out of the oven and then move them onto a separate plate so that I can put the garbanzo beans in their place and warm them up in the oven. The garbanzo beans already have salt and they're already kind of wet from being washed, so I don't put any oil on them. And then I just put them in for a few minutes. And when everything's done, take it out of the oven. I like my vegetables like very roasted, but that's the good thing about cooking your own food is you can kind of decide how you want it to be. Once everything is cooked, I put it all together. And I usually make my meals for dinner kind of like a bowl style, so I put the mashed potatoes on the bottom, and then I put everything on top of that. And I will have extras to have kind of like a second dinner later in the night. And after that, I top it off with fresh arugula, which I'm actually going to add more as I eat because I absolutely love arugula. What I have for dinner varies every day, but generally I do something similar to this with roasted vegetables or some sort of grain or potatoes on the bottom. And there you have it. Once again, I just want to stress the importance of listening to your body, because even though these meals work well for me, and even though this particular lifestyle works really well for me, everybody's body is different, and different things will work for you than they will for me. So just learn to listen to your body and figure out what works best for it. But these recipes are really great, so I would highly recommend trying them out. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to, you can follow me on Instagram, or you can subscribe to me here on YouTube. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day today.